Would you please put your phones away and introduce yourself?
I'm Barbara. I'm Gabby.
I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Riley.
I'm Jake.
I'm Zach.
Alright, well thank you all for coming out today. I'd like to take a minute to talk to you all about global warming. It's being a topic that's brought up daily amongst politicians, scientists, and average citizens. I'm sure you all to some degree have heard of global warming, or as it's often referred to, climate change. A movie from our childhood is Wall-E, which came out in 2008 from Disney, which had a chilling message that if we don't change our current emissions, then we could soon have a planet that's uninhabitable. Changing the current global warming crisis, though, starts by understanding what it is exactly and how we are causing it as individuals. So, global warming is mainly caused by a phenomenon we have on Earth called the greenhouse effect, which is the sun's energy being radiated into the Earth, and then it's trapped in the Earth's atmosphere to keep the planet warm, on average about 54 degrees throughout the planet. According to NASA, climate scientists agree that the main cause of the current global warming crisis is human expansion of this greenhouse effect. The component of the greenhouse effect that we are having the biggest effect on is the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Also, according to NASA scientists, humans have increased atmospheric carbon dioxide levels by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution, which is a huge increase. Increase in carbon dioxide comes from various activities we do every day, such as burning of fossil fuels, like driving your car, deforestation, and land use changes. Now, some immediate consequences of global warming, and there are many, is the average temperature across the planet will continue to rise over the years. According to the National Climate Assessment Report, regions in North America could see a 15% increase in the temperature over the next 100 years if we continue to have the same emissions we do now. As a result of growing temperature, the sea levels would rise drastically, and this is due to the melting of the glaciers in the north and the south regions. Since 1880, the sea levels have already risen about 8 inches, and current projections with the current emission rate is another rise of 1 to 4 feet in the next 75 years. This has a huge effect on land mass, which could ultimately cause some population issues, not only with animals, but with humans as well. The changing ecosystems and climate have a large effect on certain species' existence also. According to Christine Delamore of National Geographic, with the melting of the glaciers, animals such as polar bears will soon have very limited space to live on. Polar bears mostly live on glaciers and ice caps, and as they continue to melt, they too are running out of places to live. Another species that's affected by this is penguins. Their biggest problem is they survive off krill, who live in glaciers, and just like the polar bears, they're running out of places to live. So, with a decreasing food supply, penguins are also facing decreases in their population size. In the sea, a big species that is losing a lot of its population is coral reefs. Coral reefs such as the Great Barrier Reef, which is very popular, are experiencing large declines over the last 30 to 40 years because coral reefs are very sensitive to temperature change, and even just a few degrees difference can be life or death for them. Now, some ways that we can make a difference individually. As Aaliyah Hack, Deputy Director of the NRDC Clean Power Initiative, says that change only happens when individuals take action. So some specific ways we can take action in our lives is a few simple things we can do. We can convert our homes to use only clean renewable energy instead of getting our energy supply from the grid, which is largely supported by coal burning. You can also, according to the RNDC's website, nearly half of home energy consumption is from the heating and cooling of your home. So if we take steps to better insulate our homes, like windows and doors and attics and things like that, we will have to use less air conditioning, and if we can decrease half of our home's energy consumption, that would be a huge help, especially if we did it nationwide. Also, when you're searching for vehicles, it's important to keep in mind that they are fuel efficient or don't require fossil fuels at all. As technology and research grows, many more alternatives to fossil fuel powered engines are becoming available and more financially feasible. Individually, it may not sound like making a huge difference, but if we do this as a whole, we can make large jumps for our future projections of the current global warming crisis. Thank you all.